The sky over Mount Sinai roared like a wild beast. Smoke curled from its peak, and jagged bolts of lightning split the clouds, illuminating the rugged cliffs in stark flashes. The ground trembled with each echoing clap of thunder, and a deep, resonant trumpet blast shook the air. The Israelites stood at the base, huddled together, eyes wide, hearts racing. They could feel the presence of something far greater than themselves, a God whose glory both awed and terrified them. Moses, tall and resolute, climbed the steep, jagged path alone. The wind howled around him, tugging at his robes and whipping his hair into a frenzy. Each step carried him higher into the swirling storm, toward the voice of God that called him by name. At the summit, the clouds parted just enough for him to glimpse a radiance so blinding it made him bow instinctively. There, God's voice thundered like the mountain itself, and stone tablets appeared, glowing with divine light. Words carved themselves into the rock, perfectly etched by God's own hand, the 10 Commandments. 40 days and nights passed. Moses' form became a shadowed silhouette against the glowing summit, immersed in a dialogue with the Almighty, fasting, listening, and receiving the weight of the law. Below, the people waited. Fear seeped into their hearts. "Has he abandoned us?" they murmured. Their eyes darted anxiously among one another, their uncertainty growing louder with each passing day. Desperation became action. They begged Aaron to create a God they could see. Reluctantly, he melted gold into the shape of a calf, and the people erupted in celebration. Flames from the altar cast flickering shadows over their faces as they danced and shouted, caught in a fever of idolatry. Laughter and music filled the camp, drowning the memory of the God who had freed them from slavery. If you reached this point, then I presume you are enjoying this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Then Moses descended. The wind seemed to still, the sky darkened, and silence fell as he neared the camp. And there it was, the golden calf, gleaming defiantly in the firelight, surrounded by a crowd lost in blind worship. Rage and heartbreak surged through Moses. In a single explosive motion, he threw the stone tablets to the ground. They shattered into 1,000 pieces, dust and stones scattering across the desert floor like lightning fragments. Moses' voice thundered over the camp. He confronted Aaron, scolded the people, and smashed the idol, its molten form dripping uselessly onto the ground. Fear struck the Israelites as the reality of their sins settled over them like a shadow. But Moses did not abandon them. He climbed Sinai again, stepping into the storm once more, to plead with God for mercy. The mountain shook, but this time with a solemn, reverent energy. God's voice, tempered by grace, forgave the people. In the radiant light of the storm, new stone tablets appeared, glinting with the renewed covenant. Moses descended once again, carrying hope and law together in his hands, as the Israelites looked on, humbled, awed, and forever changed. From that day forward, Mount Sinai was not just a mountain. It was a symbol of awe, law, divine presence, and the fragile courage of humanity. If you watched up to the end, then you are a true fan. Like and subscribe.